You're listening to Daily Sip with Marcel, giving you morning moments of insight, laughter, and a little something to stir the soul.
Yeah. Welcome back to Daily Sip with Marcel, the podcast that cuts through the political noise and pours you a tall glass of reality. Because let's be honest, we all need the caffeine. Today, my sippers, it's November 5th, 2025. I'm your host, Marcel, and today we're talking about kids these days. And by kids, I mean voters under 30 who are apparently tired of their wallets being perpetually empty. We've got to discuss the electoral earthquake that just happened in the Big Apple, the victory of Democrat Socialist and now Mayor-elect Zahran Mamdani. Now, conventional wisdom says New York is progressive, but this was a message sent via megaphone. 3/4 of New York City's voters under the age of 30 cast their ballot for Mamdani. 3/4, people. That is not a simple win. That is what I call a youth quake. Mamdani's platform: housing affordability, climate change, economic justice, reads like a young voter's dream playlist. It's proof positive that a significant chunk of the next generation isn't just looking for minor tweaks to the system. They're demanding a whole new operating system. And when they get mobilized, they can move mountains, or at least the mayor's office for now. But here's the rub, my friends, and listen closely. While Mamdani's win is a big, hey, look at me, from the progressive youth, the overall message from the latest elections is much simpler, much more kitchen table. That's right. Across the entire electorate, the single biggest issue cited wasn't housing in New York City, but the economy and the rising cost of living. The younger generation, especially Gen Zs, are facing a scary financial landscape. A massive 52% of the Gen Z report being very or extremely worried about not having enough money, and over half, 55%, don't have enough emergency savings to cover just 3 months of expenses. They are financially stressed and, frankly, quite fatalistic. This is where the political messaging got really interesting. The Democrats who cut through the noise weren't the far-left ideologues. They were the ones who focused on these core economic anxieties. Candidates like Mikie Sherrill in New Jersey and Abigail Spanberger in Virginia, both moderates who centered their campaigns on kitchen table concerns, also secured a majority of the youth vote in their wins. What does this tell us? The younger voter message is clear. Fix the economy, pain. But here is where you come in. If we, as a country, are going to get run again and stop the paralyzing interaction that seems to grip our government, especially on the economic issues that matter most, you need to share this information. Tell your neighbor. Tell your local elected official. Tell that one uncle on Facebook who only posts about his yard. Make sure everyone knows that the massive youth turnout for an outsider like Mamdani and the support for economic focus moderates elsewhere all stem from one place. People are struggling, and they are demanding action from every party. We need a functional government that can address these core economic needs and stop letting ideological gridlock kill meaningful action. Don't let this message get lost in the noise. Speaking of getting things running, let me tell you about the best way to start your day. Afuera Coffee. Listen, in a world where everything feels complicated, your morning routine shouldn't be. Afuera Coffee is laser-focused on sustainability. They focus their phenomenal beans from certified Rainforest Alliance farms, and they use 100% compostable coffee bags, mailers, and also their stickers. And here's what I love. They donate a portion of their sales, not just their profits, to protecting Mother Nature. It's Afuera's dream that through small, daily decisions like choosing your go-to coffee, we can all make a substantial difference in the health and cleanliness of our world. So go on, make the small decision that leads to a big difference. Click the link in the show notes. Head over to afueracoffee.com and use code SIPPER, that's SIPPER, SIPPER, to get 15% off your first order. That's afueracoffee.com and code SIPPER for 15% off. Get out there, my friends. Afuera, AFUERA, coffee.com. and code SIPPER for 15% off. Okay, all right, back to the vote. For a long time, we heard that younger voters were disillusioned, that they might just give up on the Democratic establishment entirely. But what the 2025 races have shown us is that this demographic remains a key battleground for the Democratic Party. When they are mobilized by bold, progressive candidates on hot-button issues like Mamdani did in New York City, or by moderate Democrats who strongly address their core economic anxieties like Spanberger and Sherrill, they show up. The message isn't an abandonment of the party, it's a demand for results, particularly on the cost of living. Democrats who ignore this do so at their own peril, and frankly, so do the rest of us. And that, my sippers, is all we have time for today. Go forth, share the word, demand action on the economy, and for the love of all that is caffeinated, get yourself some Afuera coffee. And as always, thanks for spending part of your day with me. If today's sip gave you something to think about, smile about, or share, pass it on. Be sure to follow the show so we can keep sipping together. Until next time, I'm Marcel. Stay grounded, stay grateful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for letting me be part of your day. And until next time, keep noticing what makes life taste a little better. And if you're loving this, don't just sip in silence. Follow us, hit the subscribe button, and pour this into someone else's cup. Share it, spread it. Let's wake the world up together, one daily sip at a time.